Yeah, usually we don't say that after we're saying that after lunch we don't do yoga or at the fire. But this is the one pose that you can do. If you have eaten too much, you usually do the it's called Vajrasana. You don't need a block. You have this thing. This is the one pose that you can sit after the meal. And you should actually. See, that will have to digest the
Oh yeah, that's good.
So it basically is kind of it makes your tailbone more straight and allow your food to move a little bit more down quicker than if you are sitting in a cross leg on the chair, we can do. So traditionally, like if you are really following this Ayurveda traditions, we were supposed to eat on the floor and then sit in this pose for 5 minutes and not drink water either with the food and until like half an hour. There could be some different opinions on those things, but that's what the traditionally. And so when you're sitting on the floor, compared to you're sitting in a dining table or a table, you can do this kind of little experiment. You will eat less if you are sitting on the floor. And don't lift your plate in your hand. Leave your plate on the ground on the floor.
Right, yeah, I give up fast on that too. Yeah.
So you will eat because you will eat slow and you are kind of folded forward.
Oh wow.
So you will eat less.
Is that the reason? Like, what's the full reason behind that?
That's actually.
Is it to eat less? Is that
Yeah, that's a. Traditionally, I don't know, there was no dining tables.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
That's the current opinion is that it depends. And my personal prospect for all these practices, I was also talking to him that I don't like to follow any tradition or any guru. I take it more practical. What you want from all this? If you want something for your health, take those points. Like okay, if you want to avoid eating too much, make this as a practice. That's you take. If you want to do meditation, that help from the breathing. If you are having issues with your psychological issues like anxiety and all that, do this, that. So I take it more of, or you just don't care about all this, you just want to have a good workout, go to a flow class and just leave everything else. So take that. I don't like to be like, okay, this is wrong and that is wrong and nothing's wrong. At least you're doing something bad, something good for yourself. So that's.
You also didn't have ice with your water.
Yes, I don't.
And is that also?
This also that the way I
Is the way, okay.
yes I do, but for the technically we are not if we talk about according to Ayurveda, we are not supposed to drink water with the meal. If you want to like reduce your meal size, drink water before, and then wait like half an hour after the meal. That will help you to like if you drink a lot of water before, that will fill up your stomach a little bit. So you will eat less. And you wait until half an hour, that will help you digest. But, ice, there is like those people who support ice, they have their own logic and I can't really completely deny that. They say like the cold ice supports you to, so you take some of your energy to burn those calories. It's cold.
For every 8 ounce ice water you drink, it's supposed to burn 1 calorie.
How many?
8 ounce glass of ice water.
1 calorie.
1 calorie.
So.
Maybe just do some reading.
Well, I'm just saying.
And like I don't think so. My argument is first, if you drink ice water, you will drink less water.
That is true.
Rather than, I'm not saying warm water, but regular water, you will drink more water. And most of us, we live more in air-conditioned environments. We don't really feel dehydrated, but we get dehydrated because it's not feels nice because it's air blowing on us. We don't feel dehydrated, and we don't drink enough water. So yeah, so that helps. Do you like to see the old people? Oh no, we came on this. So that was, it's just started with the water, so we just started talking about the water. That's my argument, and the traditional argument is that, and there was no ice in the world. You can warm up water, but there was no ice too. So it's become a cultural thing. I don't know what is right or wrong, but you pick what works for you.
Probably the rest of the boys now. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so we never, like, we don't complain.
Sorry.
No, she's not.
Not my group.
No, we can have
Austin,
one
who has
in
come?
the chair or
Okay.
whatever you like. It's just we have to do that.
Okay, so this will start. So we were supposed to talk about Ayurveda, not about the water. We just started about Ayurveda. And I can just tell first thing is, Ayurveda is not something that me or anybody can teach you in 1 hour. So my take on this also is the same, that if I can help you or anybody to make few positive changes in your life or make it different prospects to make few positive changes in life, that's all we are trying to say. Not going to Ayurveda, teaching you Ayurveda. Because if you really want to learn Ayurveda, it takes 5 years MD and 3 years residency to become an Ayurvedic physician. There's a real Ayurveda MD program where you go to medical school, like Ayurveda medical school, and you do 5 years to get your equivalent to MD, and then you do your residency like you do any other medicine, and that's how you become an Ayurvedic physician.
Where's this at? Where?
In India.
In England?
In India.
India.
And that program is not recognized in the United States. So anybody can call themselves an Ayurvedic physician.
Here.
It's like a yoga. In here, it's like a yoga. I certify you and you become an Ayurvedic physician. And there are tons of those physicians. I'm not saying anything wrong, but I would say also that you should only consider those also the same way that I'm saying, that is just to help you to make your lifestyle changes, not more than that, not like a really treating Ayurveda. If you really want to get the Ayurvedic treatment, go to an Ayurvedic physician. There are few in a state, they not be recognized, like there's no equivalent degree in the United States to get them. They cannot, like, if somebody has a medical degree from India, they can convert their medical degree equivalent to medical degree, MD in US. But so if you have a MD in Ayurveda, they cannot convert their MD in medicine in US. So basically there's no medical recognition yet. But it's becoming very popular. I've seen a lot of my friends who are medical doctors, and because good thing is like because it's not any regulations, so they can use but they have a medical license, so they can use these practices along with their medicine practice. And that's what I do. I'm not a medicine doctor, but I sit on their research board. So there's a couple of real Ayurvedic doctors from India. We get together and we made it called Ayurveda University. It's technically, I'm again saying it's not a real university, but they offer these small research courses and small certification courses. and that's where I sit on the research board. So I'm still a researcher, not a physician. But we have a bunch of Ayurvedic physicians in there and bunch of medical physicians, like licensed physicians. So we all come together and we try to develop the smaller courses where you can just use these practices to like improve your lifestyle. That's pretty much it. That's very nice. Not to make you Ayurvedic physician or make me Ayurvedic physician. But to do that, we just want to have a first thing is to rather than change. The idea is to rather than just telling you to stop drinking cold water, drink the warm water or room temperature water, we just try to give a reasoning about it and talk about it. That's what we do. So, to start with, like, I'm a medical scientist, so we started talking about in modern medicine. Now we started talking about, say, these, if you have ever heard the term personalized medicine, where they will try to make a medicine for, but we are still way far from that. Still we go, if you get flu, everybody gets the same flu or same flu treatment. We are still way far, but still we started thinking about it. Now we are sequencing more and more DNA. More and more people are getting their DNA sequence to find out what they could get in that later their life. It's become cheaper. Now I can actually sequence your DNA for $1,000.
Is that like a swab or money?
Yeah,
or
it's a swab.
Swab,
Yeah,
nice
it's a swab.
a blood draw.
Yes, no, the blood or swab, anything. So we need few cells.
Easy.
It's easy. Now, like you have those ancestry.com and all those, they do the small portion. They don't do the whole DNA, but you can do the whole for $1,000. So we are still getting there, but still, theoretically, practically, it's not possible to make a medicine for each and every person. You cannot go to pharmacy and they will sequence your DNA and then they will make a medicine for you. But the basic concept of doing that in modern medicine is like who we are, what makes our bodies. There are two components. One, that the DNA that we get from our parents, and so far we have no control over it. That's what you are. But the DNA is same in your hand and in your leg and in your intestine. That's the same DNA. But there is an information that made your DNA to make hand and make muscles. So that's DNA is not the only factor. Then it's a whole environmental factor, how those affect the DNA to express in your body, to make enzymes and make muscles and make bones and make structures. And so modern science, we are trying to combine those to look into the DNA and see if it was a problem with the DNA or it was a problem with its expression, something went wrong, like a cancer. No, sometimes cancers you have the mutations already, and sometimes you develop those. And sometimes there are no mutations, there's still people who still have cancers. But fact is that we have been sequencing tons of DNA now, people, but we still don't have any particular mutations or in the DNA that we can say 100%. If you have this, you will get this cancer. There's always, okay, you have a higher chances than somebody who don't have the mutation, but we cannot say it's 100%. And so this same concept was already in Ayurveda, the traditional Indian medical system. We call it. It's called Ayurveda. That's two words, Ayur and Veda. Ayur is the life, and Veda is basically knowledge, and that's why we call it Vedas, like the traditional literature also called Vedas. So it's the science about the life of Vedas. You can call it life science if you really want to simplify it. But the concept there was still the same. That what influences our life is same way. Same thing that what you got from your parents and how you manifest your life. So it's a genetically determined factor, and in Ayurveda we call them, so as we said, it's impossible to design everything for each and every individual. So what they did, they divided all the food into 3 big major foods. And then 3 more, and those lines are not always straightforward. So then they can be overlapping, so there can be 9. So we divided them into 3 different foods called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So now I can give past this thing. You may give this.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want to give it first.
You know, if you want me to.
No, not this one. But I would say, yeah, this is more about we will be talking into. So I put this together in as simple I could make, but as I said, we will only go through the practical part. Yeah. Okay. So we call them you get a glimpse of the first page because everybody is so busy.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to give it to begin with.
Pay attention.
Okay. So basically we said three types. Right? It's called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. I want to make it clear that nobody can be just one. So those are the 3 different components or 3 different parts of our bodies we all have. So if we have to say in one sentence, Vata means anything that moves in our bodies. And you can call it kinetic energy, motion, so that means breath, I'm moving my hands, the blood is moving, there's information is moving in my nerves, there's breath, there's lots of intestinal moving, so anything that moves in my life. So you can't imagine a person alive, there's no movement in it. So nobody can be just a one, but that's the one component. Pitta is mostly, I could say in one sentence, it's like mostly the chemical reactions that happens in our body. The food breakdown, respiration, metabolism, synthesis, all that. But in raw term, we mostly refer it to Pitta means that our food we digest and we generate energy to survive. But that's not only, it also includes, as we talked in the previous one, that when we breathe into each and every cell of our body. And that's where we generate energy. So anything we have to do with the chemical energies that works in our body, that is more for Pitta. Right? And Kapha is structure. So we have our structure like bones, muscles, and structure could be the big structures, and it could be the microstructures in our cells and enzymes and kinetics, but all is. So it's basically saying, dividing our bodies into 3 different parts, how it works. And then, taking those, you will see that some people have one component is strong. Some people will have other component is strong. So, and that's how we categorize them. So there was a study recently. So what they did, they took a bunch of people. They identify them based on their characteristics into these three groups, and then they sequence their DNA. And they looked at about, so you can say about the 60-70% of those characteristics depends on their DNA. So whenever we say somebody is Vata, that means like about 60-70%, 67% is their DNA matches more. Matches means it's grouped together more to the Vata kind of people. But it's not that they have no Vata. They have no bones and muscles. They used to have bones and muscles. So same thing. The Kapha means their DNA is more focused on building bones and muscle, maybe a little slightly less focused on doing the chemical reactions and the kinetic reactions in the body. But they do have them. Otherwise they won't survive. If somebody only have them, that will be their one. If it only have a structure and no function, that you cannot call that is a live person. Same thing with the Pitta is their DNA is more focused on digestion, absorption, metabolism, all that. So there are two ways to look at this. And one, it gives an opinion that first of all, find out yourself, who you are. And there may be something that is, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to somebody else. You should be looking into you if there's an imbalance within yourself, within your body. So maybe somebody is born to be a little taller or smaller, or somebody is born to be big or small. That's who you are. That's in your DNA. We haven't learned to change that yet. Maybe there will be one day where you can design your babies on Amazon. Or yes, oh, I want like a black hair and
It's crafty.
it's crafty, and then they will deliver at home. But so far, what they are, and at least we are already born. I'm not talking about the babies. I'm talking about ourselves. We are already born. So this is what we are. So it gives you that feeling. And then once you identify yourself, okay, this is how I'm supposed to be, if you go through those questions, and then look for anything that seems out of the balance. And then the simple thing is to try to bring it back to the balance. That's the whole concept of learning all these things. So this is a more of the modern science. If you look at the same hypothesis or same theory with a more in the energy and ancient scientific terms, then we'll say like we all are made of these 5 elements. Like we call them air, earth, water, ether, fire. So we are all made of them. The same way, like proportion of those is not always 20%. We are all 100%. But so somebody will have that fire is more dominant, say 30%. Their component is made of fire. That means they will have fire is more pitta. That means their digestive fire, metabolism will be higher, stronger. Somebody's vata, that means their air and water components are more dominant. And then you can look into you can compare those things. So air and water means like they can be more liquidy or fluid. They will be moving more. They like tend to move more. Because the air and water are supposed to be traditionally, unless you make a dam, supposed to flow. That's their inherent nature. They don't tend to stay. Kapha is like a ground. It's a solid ground. It's not supposed to move so easily. So that's why they speak of they have more earth element in them. So look at this way or you look at that way, we come to the same point that we all are different. And first thing if we want to take care of ourselves, first thing we need to identify what is our real natural state. What is our, I would say, balanced state or inherent states or inherent nature in our body. In our physical body, our emotional stress, emotional body, all of them. So, okay, then you see there is a clock in the paper. So the clock is not, so we also believe that not only our bodies have these components, our environment also has these things. So if you look at like, so you start from the Vata, it's a time from the 2 to 6, either in the night or in the morning, in the afternoon. So that's the time that more things start moving. The environment or universe has more of the Vata energy at that time, 2 to 6. And the whole concept of this too, we should organize our activities according to the nature, not against the nature. So when the Vata time is in the nature, when it's the time is Vata, we should be doing more activities that are more active, that requires more movement. When it's a Pitta time, that's the time with our metabolism, our energy is high. That should we should use that to generate energy, burn energy. So that's the time that we should be having meal, or that's the time our digestive fire is high. And Kapha is the time when we should be giving our body to come back to its structure, getting movements and other activities as much as possible away from our bodies. Just remains the structure. That means basically relaxing and resting. Is that aligned somehow? Make sense?
Oh yeah.
So, but what do you do with this? You can't change how the sun rises and sets. But we can make some small changes. I will give you an example like this. We say Vata, Pitta is the highest time where sun is high, energy in the environment is high. Right? That's the most productive time of the day. And also our Pitta is the fire in our bodies. So if you want to make a small change in our body, you can make the lunch as a bigger meal. Because that's the time your body has the most capacity to burn that easily, digest it easily. Because of this, all our environmental and job and all that, it became a solid tradition in all cultures actually. Having dinner is a bigger meal. But that's technically in the nature, that's the time to slow down. Except us, even the birds in the wild, they don't eat in the evening. They eat in the whole day, and in the evening they start getting back to their nest. Sun is setting down, even there's not much energy in the environment. There's this very small change. I know it could be sometimes it could be significant for depending on your job, but you can be creative for that. But there's this very small change that helps you keep your day more active, keeping your energy more active. So you get some help to properly digest your food if you take your biggest meal as a lunch. And there's one more, that's how it used to be. When there was not much electricity and light, people tend to eat lunch as a bigger meal and take a good lunch break and then work until evening and just settle down and go to sleep. Now, because of the industrialization and all that, and there was one more thing, that it was a breakfast industry. Because most of the time you may like to cook your dinner, but usually breakfast is the hardest thing to cook. Right? Especially if you're working, you tend to grab something. And that's where they started focusing that, yeah, oh, you want to be healthy, you need to eat your breakfast. And you need to eat your breakfast early morning. And usually, what is the breakfast? Something you pour out of the box. Usually, nobody eats salad in breakfast. So there's kind of a one more argument that tends to be changing this habit. But I would say still, I don't know how much is conspiracy, but it's more about how our lifestyle and working pattern changed over the time. Because we all just, mornings are so rushed, we just try to hardly make it work. But that's the basic. And how do you, if you want to, there are, so I won't go through all of these on the second page because there are even tons of apps and websites you can take those quiz to find out what is your component, what is your Prakriti type, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. But that's not the idea. That's not my idea to talk. That's not what we are trying to accomplish. We are trying to see how we do, but just to give you a basic example that how a Vata, Pitta, and Kapha people do. So I will take, and that can express not only in your physical body, it can express in your accents. So let's say, if there is let's say an example saying that we all work in a big office, have like 50 people work together, and you suddenly everybody gets an email that you all are getting fired and nobody will be working tomorrow. And then you look around all your colleagues, how they are doing. Because we all get the same information. It will be probably have almost the same effect in our life. And sometimes it doesn't really matter what effect this will have in life. This will tell how the personalities of the people, what's their inherent. There will be some people, they will be just jumping up and down, abusing, like saying bad things about the administration and president and world and everything is broke and I'm going to protest or something. So they will be just like sweating head to toe. That's the one person. And those are the Vata. Because they get the information, they didn't like it, and that motions they have in their body, in their, they just start spinning out of control. That's it. And it's nothing is wrong in any of those. We all need to have all three of them. But when it is like, okay, sometimes you need to react fast. You need Vata. Doesn't mean you can't really survive if you don't have that. But if you can't, so if you use that Vata nature into that, okay, you move through options quickly. Say out of those 50 people, there's opening in some other place, and because of your Vata, you think quickly, you move quickly, and you are the first one to apply there and approach somehow. Then it's a good thing, right? But if you just keep complaining about it and you're just jumping about it and saying bad things about this and that, then the same Vata things, because you can't control it after spin, you might lose that race. You might be a loser at that point. So that same thing can be that. The second type of the people will be, they will be just like sitting in a corner and making a plan. What should we do? Like, okay, now we are losing the job, so should we, maybe can we open a company together? Or maybe let's talk to somebody else. Can we look into the administration up high? Can we talk to somebody? And that's also not bad. But again, if you make a plan, you figure out what the best options are and you move forward, then your Vata is perfect. You did what you're supposed to do. Sorry, the pick up, because you pick a time, you think about it, it's in balance, in the middle basically. So then it's good. But if you just keep thinking, never move, then it's no use. And then there will be this third group of people. You will probably not find them. When they will just probably disappear from the office. Maybe sitting in some small room, ordering, like eating M&Ms and chocolates, and they just kind of withdraw themselves from the situation. So that is more kapha tendency. And that is expressing in the behavior. I'm not talking about the physical appearance. I'm talking about the behavior. Because they can't really handle, because it just tends to be, they tend to withdraw that from the situation. And again, sometimes it's good to withdraw yourself from a situation, accelerating situation when you can't control. You are not able to control what happens to the whole company. So it's okay to withdraw it. But if you, as long as you go back on track, it's fine. But if you just withdraw and stay there, that could be the problem. So I'm going to say that none of those three natures in your behavior as a problem. The problem is when you can't control them. They overtake. The same thing, if that's the, and how the physical appearance of the physical body they looks like. So the Vata, as you say, like there's moving and kinetic energy is more. So you look at them, they'll be like really skinny, walking fast, everything will look in there. Walking fast. So like, have you ever seen this movie Wonder Woman? Not yet? It's like the heroine, or you can, if you look at the old heroines like Angelina Jolie, I'm talking about the physical appearance. Yeah. They will look like perfect Vata. Long arms, long legs, walking fast, flowing. That's the physical appearance. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. But then the problem begins when they just can't control, they can't sit. Because there's so much. You will see somebody in your friend circle in your house who just comes in your house, or you go together, they just can't sit still. I have a friend who just every time he comes to, so it was my friend, and we did PhD together, and he came for 2 years to work with me here. And every time he comes home, and he's like, "Can I fix this fan? Or can we put these chairs around? Can we move this couch? Or if there's nothing, then can I do the dishes?" And my wife used to get like really annoyed with it, like, "Oh, let this sit." And I told my wife that if you don't let him do it, he'll be more annoyed. So just let him do it, because that's how he is. Because he just can't sit still. We just want to chill out and just sit together, but he just can't. But so let it be. If you try to control them, those situations, sometimes it just becomes even worse. Like he will feel like, why is he not nice to me? And he will feel like he's not nice, he just can't sit still. Just let it be. And the only thing what we're trying to do is like not judge the people superficially. Just think that maybe that's how they are. They are not bad people. That's how they are. That's their nature. So that's and then the Vata people, they will have to be like everything organized. They will like go by watch. But they are like 5 minutes late. The Pitta people, because they have like that much of kind of fire. They always want to do something, like achieve something, right? These are like the politicians that I feel that as a perfect example, like the President Obama is not like the physical appearance and walk. I see that as like a perfect example of Pitta people. Of course, nobody can question their achievements, but the way they walk, structure, and always not lose talk, think about those kind of structure. I'm just talking about the physical appearance. I'm not opposing or supporting anything. But that's a middle structure. And the kapha people, they are like more solid. This takes a while for them to keep moving for the things. Physically also, sometimes their body structure is like a little bigger. And they're like maybe and that's why if you go to take the real quiz, they will want you to measure your wrist size, measure your heart rate, wrist, eyes, ankle, even your like depth of your navel point. So how much the fat you have on your body. So that helps to determine. They have like more structure on your body, so that makes them slow. But again, as long as it's just slow, you can do everything. And the good thing about that is they are really not tend to get annoyed and hyperoid. Sometimes those people are really nice to hang around. So they will not make you work. They will not make you work all the time. There are some like these Vata people, they just can't sit and they will make everybody want to do something. So that's really nice to work on. And they will have their own things. I'm not trying to go for everything, but those things the most affect our bodies most. So then it comes to the most problems we occur in our life physically are because of our wrong habits, and food is one of them, one of the most important ones. So there's like, because look into the metabolism. Vata people, they have everything keep moving. They don't care about food. They will grab and eat anything, or they will not eat anything. Right? So that could be the problem. But every kind has a pros and cons. Because if you don't eat anything, not good. But if you just keep grabbing it, but you are not always hungry, then you have a tendency that you will not eat something that is not healthy. You can control yourself much better than anybody else because you are not particular about it. The pitta, because they are so calculative, they tend to be really picky on it. Because they want to be like everything perfect. If it's a little late, they get about it. If it's too early, no, it's not time for lunch. So, but that's also, it's good to get time, but again, you don't want to quit the lunch if it's 5 minutes late. You still want to. And the kapha people, they love food. They're more about life and love food. But they have a good structure, so that's good. They need both. But the problem comes when they love food more than they need. And every type has a kind of a sliding scale where it can become a problem. So they say first time when they love the Vata people, they can eat anything and not gain weight. And I think everybody knows somebody like that. Who can eat anything. Yeah.
I'm so honest.
It's so obvious. Everybody knows that.
Awareness.
And no, you might be able to active and you do all this. I had a roommate who was like 6 inches taller than me and met all the eats. And only time I will see him out of his room when he comes to grab his pizza. He orders his pizza and grabs it from the door and goes back into the room. That's all. I never seen him walking outside the home on his feet. No social life, he just eats, but he never gained
What if he's doing yoga in that room the whole time?
I can hear video games. chemist in that room. That's what he was doing. So maybe he was just burning his calories, seeing those characters moving on the video game. I don't know. Amazing yourself, but he was like perfect. And he goes in. You hardly notice him because he walks so fast, and he just goes into his room. So I can say, I mean to say that you can have these characteristics or natures expressed in two different ways. So he was physically really water, like has movement, and he don't gain weight, and his metabolism fine. Even I would call him like vata and pitta, because he has really good digestive fire. He can digest one pizza every day, never gain weight. But in his psychology and in his mental and social status, he was definitely tough. He never likes to move, he never likes to be socialized, so he just sits there. So if you can have these properties or natures expressed in your different accents. So only thing you need to notice is if there's something out of balance. And the only way to do that, to reverse it, is do opposite. So that gives you an idea, basic idea that how the energies look like, how we are all different. Where you draw the line, now you don't want to, every time you walk on the street, you don't want to, he looks like when you study these things too long, you tend to, like when I was studying this, I tend to look at everybody in the conference room and like, oh, this man is really tough. It will take a while for him to explain something. So this is not to judge anybody, but to judge anybody unless to the extent where you can say that, okay, that's how it is. That's how he is. You don't want to keep poking, especially like kids and somebody in your family, you really love them, but maybe one of their habits just annoys you.
You stick it in that box.
Yeah, that's and that gives you peace of mind. Okay, that's how we are. But you also want to keep an eye if it is not imbalance. So this is very kind of a gray line where you say it's your nature. Okay, somebody can be a little aggressive. You can call it, but you cannot call it if they hit you at a time. Because that's not their nature. That's something is wrong. That is being aggravated. Somebody skips a meal because it's a water sometimes. But if he skips, your kid skips 3 meals a day, raw, or sometimes just eat one big meal in the dinner and doesn't eat anything whole day, that's not, if that happens regularly, then it's not vata, it's basically vata imbalance. So there's two terms we call them, prakriti and dosas. So prakriti is your nature, right? And dosa, the same prakriti, becomes a dosa when it becomes a hyper imbalance. Make sense? So, say your nature is your nature, that's fine. But if it becomes a problem, dosa is, you can literally say, translate dosa into the problem or business. So it becomes a problem when it is out of balance. It becomes hyper-expressed in your body or in your nature or in your behavior, whatever. Then it becomes a problem. So what do you do for that? That comes the next one. So this was to just give a basic idea. But say what you do for that. So somebody, you feel that, okay, at one point, and it can't be expressed at certain time of your life. Say you was really athletic when you were a teenager or young. Now you start getting more, you don't want to do anything. So that means like you are really pitta in your teenagers, but now you are start getting more of kapha. And again, that's still okay because it's age and you got to slow down. But if you're becoming totally inactive now, that is invitation to the problems. Because then you want to start having these tons of problems, gaining weight, maybe you get into depression, and maybe you have like really toned muscles and now you don't want to do anything, then you can get into those muscular dystrophy and all those degeneration problems. So if there's too much change in your nature, that could be also a problem. So you need to notice that. And then start making the small changes. So like if you start feeling like you're becoming too much kapha, you stick to something. Then you might make you start small changes, like deliberately take a different route. Just to make it change. It won't do anything much. Your GPS shows always like this route, this 5 minutes next, 1 minute slower. 1 minute is not complicated. Just try to take that one. Just to start making different changes, if that's your problem. Or if you are on the other side of the spectrum, you just, if you are, there's a traffic, say there's a 3 cars ahead of you, and there's a red light or the traffic jam, it's a bad traffic, you just want to jump out of the car and you have become so much annoyed with that, then you need to do something about that too. So then you start making yourself more calm. Maybe you just, if you're stuck in the traffic, don't close your eyes, but you can breathe. Right? Or do some meditation, bring some meditation in your head. Any sort of meditation. And there's an interesting way to express this is in the relationships also. Like if you are, I guess if everybody's already past that stage, but also like the Vata people, they are really hard to stick with somebody. They're like, I move to this one. And they are not, because they can't really control their thinking process. But they keep going, and if you keep thinking about somebody, you'll always find some problems. And it's hard to stick with them. So if you're not looking for something serious, those are the best. And Pitta people are like, they have so much kind of fire, that means like they have so much pride and say achievement, they want to be big. So they tend to develop relationship for gaining something. Like they tend to have either a really model spouse or a wealthy spouse, something that they can feel in their relationship also, they can feel like an achievement. This is an achievement for them. It's not just a relationship. So if you're looking for something like that, wait. And if you're like, okay, you're done with all of that and you just want to have somebody who will stick with around, find somebody who's so much kapha. They will just stick and they will just stick for a life. So those are also emotional expressions. So you will see all these different things. Okay. So is it makes a little sense? Because I think we are covering so much stuff in any confusion. Because I know sometimes too much information is confusion. So if it is all okay. Okay, then comes to the what should we do about this? That's the most second one. I just said in the paper, just try to do opposite. But it becomes a hard thing to do something opposite, but that's the way to bring the balance back. So say, if we take a small examples like we are talking about, let's take about food, because that's where most problem begins. So if you tend to be in a vata category, like you really don't want to do anything, because small changes like, okay, even then for those people, that rule of having breakfast before leaving the house may work, because they might not eat anything all day. Right? So just the small changes. And the best for the food, as I said, you can make these small changes about in your habit that you eat when you are hungry. So if you want to be in the middle, in a balance. Most of the time we don't eat because we are hungry. A lot of times we eat because we're feeling like eating something. And sometimes those both correlate, goes together, but sometimes they don't. So, especially if you're trying to control your diet, that is, most people get into that phase at some point in life. That's why I'm taking that as an example. If you're trying to do that, then think about it. Like, are you really hungry? So don't ask your head, ask your belly. Are you hungry? And if not, then you can take. And that will bring yourself into either side in the balance. Like you will not rush to, if you are like in a kapha type, you will basically rush to eat anything. Because your mood tends to be sticky to the food. So that will bring the balance. Like back home, my dad used to say that when your kids and mom is cooking, and you always want right away. And he would always say that let your hunger cook while food is cooking. So means then you feel you are really hungry before you go and eat it. Go and eat so you can wait. So those are the small things. And when we come to the behavior changes, like if you, and I'm talking about all three when they both are out of balance. In the behavior changes, like vata people, when you feel that you are too much moving in either in your physically or in your mental, then you need to do, so what you do to oppose it, try to make a schedule for your physical activities. Try to be on time for things like you want to quit. Try to take some activities those are more relaxing rather than more activities those energize you more. Such as like try to do some sort of meditation or some low level workout. Like if you are really hyper into that vata space, you don't want to play tennis, at least at that point. You might feel good, but it will be a little bit aggravating to your body. It's not that it could be bad, but you can do it later. You don't want to push that one. And for the pitta people, they have like traditionally they have the good digestive fire and really balanced. So this will be keeping. They're really good in managing and balancing. So try to keep something like teamwork activities, like being part of something, making it grow, or even you try to meditate, try to make it grow, or go to a class, something, group workout or group class or something like that. That will keep their energy more focused. Because the problem with these people are, being ambitious is never a bad thing. But sometimes they become so ambitious and world is not perfect. So you become ambitious, then you become so much ambitious about something, you want it so bad, and for any reason, that thing doesn't happen. It can be really problematic for those people. It could be devastating. It can be even to the suicidal tendencies. Because there was, you kind of could have that whole energy, the fire in your body, in your head, that you are turning to that effort. And if that didn't happen, that can be turned back. You feel like it's turning back to you. So there need to be more, something that is moderately physically demanding, like kayaking, walking, something more teamwork that keeps their, that gives them feeling of doing something, but not aggravating their vata tendency, that fire they have, that inbuilt fire. And the kapha, they need to be like, it's hard to, because the physical structure may be more demanding, so it's hard for them, to make them do something more vigorous. They need to do less demanding practices, but little long. We need to, instead of trying to run, maybe that will be frustrating for them. Like, oh, I can't run. Maybe we need to walk, but we need to walk a bit long. Maybe we need to do something aerobics, but maybe low pace aerobics, go slow. Yoga is great for to start physical activity for kapha people. They feel like, especially this. I talk about the breathings, especially those. Whenever you have kapha, like you don't want to get up, you want to do that breath hard. Boost your. So I could also see our breathing practices we talk about. So like vata, they already have fire, so they don't need really much. They are moving too much. They need something to calm themselves down because there is too much components moving in the body. So that's why for them it's more about the Brahmanis, that when you close your eyes, so that calms their neurological process because that's moving too fast. Then the noli that we try to do that in the belly, that is because sometimes their bile movements are too fast. So you want to physically control them. And of course the Anulom Vilom is more to alternate nostril breathing to prepare themselves then for meditation, calm down their emotional process. So we need to do opposite. Pitta is kind of a balance. So they won't need to go with their current state. If they are feeling like really too much energized, then we need to focus more on the alternate nostril breathing rather than the fire. But sometimes the pitta that fires is usually supposed to be high, but it is, they're feeling like it's kind of smothering, then they need to take more on breath. And for the kapha, the breath of fire is the practice. Like breath of fire and the first one that we did. You can call it Ujjayi or the Brahmani, that first one we did. If we haven't had that dinner, I usually do one workshop. I make people do this when we talk about it, but not after the dinner because I'm already feeling that. Okay. So then we need to make some changes in the food because there's one more thing is Ayurveda depends a little more than the modern medicine. Is not only food, like how many times you eat. At least around 2 or 3 times. Our food only takes about 24 hours to digest. So if you ever experience really bad with the digestive and emotional issues, try to see how regular is also your stool fasting. How regular is that process? Because if you can change your eating habit to be regular, if your exercise habits are not regular, if you look into the normal digestive system, you tend to absorb more of the toxins if you tend to hold that. And if you tend to have it too often, then you tend to develop ulcers because your own enzymes might start digesting. That's what the intestinal ulcers are. Your own enzymes start digesting your own body. So that is something that I feel like is mostly missed out whenever we talk about these healthy practices. But that is something in Ayurveda is really important. If you go to Ayurveda, they will ask you all sorts of nasty questions. Like if you really try to get a consultation, they will ask you like color, size, and shape. And of course, how many times you go, how long it takes for you, all that. So we tend to kind of ignore out of ways that part, but that is also so try to make a habit like okay, it's so important to have your breakfast in the morning, even if you're feeling hungry or not. It's the same important to go try to empty yourself in the morning and if possible in the evening before dinner. So that will even if you have really good bowel movement in the evening, that will allow you to have a still a good dinner and not feeling so heavy after. So just keep that as a importance. Mostly we just don't worry about that part. Nobody wants to talk about it. But that's and it's new. If we talk about new biology, we are in this tiny new branch of biology called microbiome. That is like studying all the bacteria that lives in your gut. And that is becoming a big part of our health science. Now people are finding that we used to think only about in terms of the food you eat that makes you sick or not sick. Now it's also it's only your genetics that makes you sick or not sick, but it's also those billions of bacteria that live in your body. They also tend to play big role in your health. Big role. And that process keeps that population of those bacteria balanced in your body. Because if you try to grow the bacteria, they will grow up to a certain stage and then they will start dying. When you nourish yourself, you need to keep in mind that you need to feed those billions of plants that live in your body. And they are really important. So we need to think about those processes also. So just give another reason to keep yourself more on a playing field when it comes to eating and cooking. Okay. And that is a basic simple thing that what they can eat and what should not. When it comes to be vata, means they're more moving, they have a good fight. They are not tend to accumulate food they eat. They can just eat it out. Then for them it's good to eat. They can have more carbohydrate than the carbohydrate because they have a better tendency. So carbohydrate with more fat, bread, bananas, whatever. Okay, so they can call it more carbohydrate and fat than the pitta. Pitta people, they are more tends to be having like develop more fat. That's what it means. So they need more of protein. but they need to have little better muscles. They need to maintain those. And so it depends on the vegetarian, non-vegetarian, but ultimately it's more protein rich. And the kapha, they need to watch their food more carefully because their digestive fire is slow. So if they mess up in their food, it tends to hurt them more than others. Because if they they start eating more fat or more carbohydrate, their body start decomposing rather than burning. So they need to be a little more careful compared to others about food. And it's not to say that like Vata or Pitta cannot have food problems. They can have food problems. They can also develop, say, obesity and digestive problems because they're not mostly because of their physical space, but if somebody is like they have Vata, it expresses in their emotional space, then they becomes more like hyperactive emotionally and more ambitious, and as soon as something goes wrong, they can really get into the depression and not care about their food, and they can also develop all those problems. But in the normal stage, it's more about like if you're a kapha, you need to be a little more careful about it. And definitely one more thing that about the water intake, always good for everybody. We need to drink lots of water, and we don't drink enough water. So, but in that sense, the kapha people need to drink a little more water because it's more solid. So we need to, if you want to have it balanced, air is little limited. You can do, but so you need to do more pranayama to bring more balance, more air into your body, and more water. So you can have that solid heart. You try to reduce that percentage. This confusing? Yeah, so a little more on that side. And then there is some. Huh?
So my ear.
Oh, okay. Right. But sometimes when nobody's asked, when I teach class, if I see that nobody's asking anything or nobody's interrupting, that means they are not either listening or they are not understanding anything.
So I have a lot of questions. I'm just restraining myself.
Well, then we can, I'm about to go to this and we can probably just then
Question and answers at the end. It's almost like I'm going to be quiet. Very on
then we can talk and I can have. And so there's a few small changes you can do. We can talk about. There's like some herbs if you've heard about, if you're comfortable, depending on what you need. I don't want to give a whole prescription without knowing anybody personally. But there are a few things that there's like if you ever feel, mostly I'm talking about the digestive fire, if you feel that is out of balance, you can try 2-3 things. First, try to make your lunch as a primary meal. Breakfast, if you feel okay, take it. Dinner, try to make dinner as a small meal. Of course, it's in our lifestyle, this is impossible to kind of skip it and it'll be too much. You will skip it 3 days and next day you will just eat whole lot. So it's better to make smaller and subsequent changes than try to change everything in one day. Then sometimes you do it 2 days and 3rd days. So one thing that. Second, try to increase the water intake. Measure the small things you can do. First thing, like do this small things like drink the water first thing in the morning. Just to room temperature water, just drink like 1 bottle. Make your own, say, I'm not really good at ounces, but like half a liter bottle like this. if you can drink like one regular of our water bottles, yeah,
20 ounces?
20
About 20 ounces.
yeah. So this is good. So like at least drink this one and like first thing in the morning, because mostly your upper tract is empty by then. That gives you a little good cleanser. And then if you can, and if you really want to, sometimes if you start feeling like more heavy and if you want to clean yourself, if it's possible, you can try to drink warm water. Warm water? Yeah.
So if you're filling tea or with tea or hot beverage.
Yeah, you can make tea or
Put a little
beverages.
lemon in it with a
Yeah, anything you can make, you can do it too, so you can drink it. The ultimate idea is to
temperature of the water.
yeah, to drink more water. And if you can drink warm water, you will see that you will urinate a little more, but that's not a bad sign. That's a good sign that it's about water cleansing. At least like once in a week, try to take like you make a one big water bottle, fill up with the warm water, and keep sipping it properly.
So, is it the rule? Because we've always been ruled like 64 ounces. Are we to measure, or we go beyond 60?
Yeah,
It depends
that's what
on
I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that first I'm not good at the ounces. Okay, but when it becomes too much, I don't want to sounds like that people get paranoid about everything they measure they eat and everything, but just make it good. How much is the 1 ounce?
How many ounces is that?
This is 16.
This is 16 ounces. So
Yes,
this is half
16.
liter. This is a half liter, right? Yeah, so 16. So it's a half liter.
This is 32 if I'm measuring.
So I would say,
without ice.
I would say like almost, if we say 4 liters, it's almost a gallon water.
Yeah.
You can drink in a cold water. In cold. Don't count the Coke. That's not a water. Any soft drink you drink, sometimes people drink it like a jug of coffee and think that we drink water. That's not water. Even if you drink those, you need to drink even more water. We have this concept that, okay, I drink that much coffee and that's a liquid, not a water. Because that will even dehydrate you more, so you need to drink even more water.
You're giving him so much material on me over here.
So there's that small change you can make in your life. Take the breathing you can in the morning. Try to give yourself, I know that we are all so busy, but try to give it to yourself like some time to get ready in the morning. So you at least you empty yourself out. So you don't like, before you even like really feel empty, you don't want to just eat again. You have to feel that. So if you don't make the rule, if you don't go in the morning, don't eat until you go. If you can.
New rule.
Yeah, that's in our family, that's been always. Like you have never been like even you like when you were kids, like you have to pretend to go to the restroom even you don't go. So but the thing, if you even start pretending, you will bring your biological cycle on time. Then you will not need to pretend so long. If you make a rule like go when you wake up, you drink like a bottle of water, feed your dog or something, do small things, try to go to the restroom, and you will see that after a few days or so, depending on how much you are messed up, you will see that this is your biological cycle. And if you feel hungry at certain time, you should feel like going at certain time. If you are not, it's your process of your digestion or timing of your digestion, speed of digestion, something is off. And best thing you can do is to just try to bring your biological cycle back to normal. So those are the small things you can start with it. And that's what I say. And about the food, I'm not really big crazy about reading those labels on sales pounds and calories and all that. I just have simple thing that eat real food and eat only when you're hungry. If you're not hungry, it's not hungry.
That's why we wanted to make sure we were hungry when we left
Yes.
earlier.
If you do that, if you have a good bowel movement in the morning and you do 5 minutes with breath of fire, you will be hungry. And then you have to right to eat a good, nice meal. So you take a breakfast, and if you don't skip the breakfast, you will be really hungry in the lunch. And then if you have a good lunch, then you will be not so hungry in the dinner. But you will be enough digested so you can still do your movements on things you want to do enough. But you won't be too much hungry. It might take a while to change these patterns which we have developed in our whole life. And everybody has something different. But if you really want to get advantage of these balancing, and also notice yourself what is needed for the body. If you want to feel, basically what brought you here, what you want to make change in your life, why you wanted to learn about it. I'm guessing that everybody has some problem in their mind that, okay, I might use it for my stress, emotional stress, or I might use it to change my diet, or I might change it to, breathing, or change it to how I react to the situation. But mostly you have something in mind, right? Or you just came by to this somebody's. But that's even good. You might need it sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe you need it sometime. I hope not, but we all need it. Sometimes something goes off. And that time you need to be able to figure that, okay, which is the balance a little bit off, and what can I do to bring it back to balance. That's what I want to say with this whole. And I think more than giving a lecture, I would keep a little bit more to, if you have any other things, questions you want to share or ask. Yes.
Okay, so I'm an early eater for dinner. I usually like eat like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, any later. I'm not a happy person, okay? So let's just say that I'm not really hungry. Like today, like that was a later lunch for me, okay? So my 4 or 5 o'clock dinner time comes and I'm really not hungry. But then what if, okay, so I go to sleep at 9 at night. I'm an early sleeper, okay? And what if I don't get home until 8 o'clock at night? Eat at 8 o'clock? Or just forget it and not eat? What's that?
You have, let's see, you have missed your biological cycle
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah,
You missed your lunch, you push it to the
yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
And so you push your dinner, if you push your dinner also 2 hours late,
Yeah,
then you will push your digestion system 3-4 hours late. You
Right.
might not feel really, when you wake up in the morning tomorrow, you might not feel as stressed as you want to feel. So either don't eat it, or if you really feel like a craving, that you feel having your back and bothering you that you haven't had your dinner,
yeah,
then just eat something that makes you, and everybody has something that makes
like
them,
nuts or something.
yeah,
Like nuts.
that makes them feel like you, their favorite thing that you feel, that makes you feel like, okay, you have eaten.
Right.
Like for me, it's the bread.
Okay.
If I haven't had bread, if I don't eat bread, I feel like you feed me anything, rice or this or that, I feel like I still need dinner. And so I just get a half piece of bread, that's good. So everybody has something like that. So if you miss something, just eat this much. So avoid pushing your whole biological cycle 3 hours, 4 hours late, and that will affect your next day. You might not feel hungry for your breakfast next day
Okay.
if you have late dinner.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Okay. Thank
Anything else? Yes, lots of questions.
I was also controlling myself to see if others had questions. Before I
They didn't listen to anything.
Oh.
In case if you ask something
I
that
was thinking
that will make me happy that somebody at least somebody's.
Well, this is maybe just an academic question. I was wondering if it really is not anything practical, but let's just say can someone be not necessarily in denial of what their nature is, right? And say, let's say I'm Pitta, but I really want to identify as Kapha. I want to change my nature. Is that a healthy, not just bringing balance, let's say Pitta, which is out of balance, so you do the opposite, but like really say.
I don't think that is because, as we talked in the beginning, that some of that comes from your DNA. So you can maybe able to change what it is because of your habits. But say you are Pitta. Let's say me. I have really tiny lips, right? Compared to most guys, I have tiny lips. And if I try to make myself look like big guys and build up lots of muscles, probably it will be too hard, and I will develop lots of fats. And even if I build up, it will be hard for me to manage it for my rest of life. See, it's like look about these film industry models. They starve themselves. They're not all Pitta or Vata. If somebody is Kapha and you try to look like them, then you might be doing more harm than good to your long-term health. You might look better for a few years, a few days, but you might be doing more harm. So, yeah. And there is so much only you can change. You can't change what you got from the parents. At least not until now.
When we go on Amazon or Etsy and design the
Yeah,
and order them.
then maybe.
Do you think the changes though, because there's ebbs and flows kind of in your
It changes.
life cycle?
I
Like
think
if I looked at me today versus 2 weeks
yeah,
from
how
now.
it changes. I took that example okay, I used to be really active when I was a teenager, but now, so that time you were more Pitta. And that's kind of a usually change. But sometimes you will see even the other way around change. You will see that, okay, this guy used to be really slow and not doing anything, and now he's just running all the time. So yeah, it changes. I believe it changes.
But then I guess your core kind of doesn't change. Because if you do any type
It doesn't
of
change.
cellular DNA type stuff,
Yeah,
that's
there's
how
also, see, the DNA, when we say about the DNA, there are two steps if you want to go technically to that. There's one is the DNA. Okay, that doesn't change. The sequence does not change.
right.
But the expression changes. And if you have the DNA, if it does not express, it doesn't make the necessary proteins. And those proteins can be stopped and started. And that can change. So saying that DNA doesn't change is not really a practical statement. Theoretically, yes, DNA sequence does not change. But how the DNA will make your body express itself,
Right.
it changes.
Like stressful events change the
Change
cell.
the expression. Yes, there are studies about that.
Right.
That how the events change the expression of proteins, like the breast cancer genes and all that.
Right.
You always have the genes. There is nothing, but there is something happening in your body. That could be a virus, or that could be just stress, or that could be just bad habits. Something happened in your body that made that gene to express, and that's how most tumors becomes. So yeah, they do change.
And you were in Baton Rouge or you were in New Orleans? Where are you from?
And better.
Baton Rouge. So do you have a clinic that does You do research.
I do.
Yeah.
No, I do research and that's my government job. So my clinic, my research even, I can't technically sequence your DNA. That would be illegal.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking like to get a real picture. So all this, I mean, some of this stuff is kind of subjective. Like she was saying, like, if I be kappa instead of beta, if I really worked hard, or if I really, you know.
I can do the consultation as a person, with little more work with you or work with them personally. But yeah, I don't have time or investment into having a taxes and everything. And also for me, I have kind of some ethical issue with that I don't want to present myself as a Ayurvedic doctor. I made it that really clear in the beginning.
Right.
So
Didn't you say there were some though that live in the United States?
yes, there are.
Yeah.
We can put you in contact with somebody. But for the consultation, the basic things, as I take myself as a researcher, we went to dinner, we were lunch, sorry. We were talking about like I work in leprosy research, right? I find out that in United States people getting leprosy from arbors. I get that information and I can tell you not to touch arbors, right? But if you get the disease, if you get the leprosy, I'm not supposed to treat it. And I take Ayurveda as the same respect as the modern medicine. So I can give you good information to avoid it or change your life and change your practices. But if you have a real medical condition, I will not pretend to be a doctor.
You could send this to somebody.
Yeah, I can send it to somebody. The same way, if somebody gets leprosy, I get the email all the time. Like, oh, I get leprosy. I refer them to a physician who works with me. But somebody need any information, or should I do this or not? Yes, I can do that. So I just, out of respect, yes, legally in United States, I can pretend to be Ayurvedic physician. There is no regulation. But this is just my personal respect to the practice. I want to treat them both equally. So yes, if you need a consultation information, I can provide it. But if you want to do a treatment, I can write you prescriptions for the herbs. I will.
Right.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, and I have one more question. When it comes to like, what does your research say, or how do you feel about biogenetic harmony and all that stuff? Is that at the cusp of like menopause and changing in hormones and that kind of stuff? And they have all that stuff that they create the hormones specifically for you, or it's a company that tries to do that, which is just like, what do you think of?
I don't think they create the hormone for you. They try to test yourself that which one you are missing and you are low on that.
Right.
They will give you more out of 10 they have. I don't think they are going to create million hormones. It's a lot of money to clone a gene and produce those hormones. So, but they will go more custom and give you the one that maybe you are missing and that one is more needed for. I'm not particularly familiar which company you're talking about,
Yeah.
but I think that's what they do. I'm not aware of any company so far doing a real personalized medicine.
Right.
It's like they really maybe are just seeing which one you group with best, like it best fits you. Like these medicines would have this action, so in your body you can prescribe for you.
So like they take a blood work, or what did they take for determining what hormone you
I think it's blood work.
take? It will blood work. So yeah, so
I
the
think
blood
it's
work.
what they kind of.
Yeah, so blood work you can look, okay, at this age, this condition, this women usually have, this is their normal range, and okay, this one seems to be normal, and this kind of a supplement, more say customized supplement. We usually go to the doctor, okay, you feel less calcium, you start eating calcium, but we usually don't test ourselves if we are really low on calcium. But in your case, they are trying to do is like test you for if you are really low on that hormone, and then give the treatment. But in still, that's a medical issue, but still, I still think that if you can, because this that hormone your body is supposed to produce and you was already produced. And you need it from outside because there's something changed in your body. And I still believe that you can still change your lifestyle so you probably don't need that to be provided from outside.
That's the idea of you want to give us a consultation and then send us to a doctor, like actual
Yeah.
doctor.
If-
They can help us with.
Yeah, if you
help
really
us
need
with
that, if you really need for particular, like, okay,
Specific disease
a specific
that you might have.
disease that you are dealing with, menopause or a specific person, you want to try the Ayurvedic medicine for that disease, let's say, even that could be anything, like you've been taking diabetes, yeah, there's like you've been, diabetes mostly like medical science, we only have one option to give you insulin. Most times. So, okay, they will still keep you on insulin and then change in your diet, in your habits and prescribe some herbs and medicines, Ayurvedic medicine. And your physician will keep testing your insulin level. And eventually, if the treatment, Ayurvedic treatment works, your physician will drop your insulin by itself. You don't really need to help. That's how it works. If you go for the real treatment.